Shalom everyone, this is Amir Tsarfati and this is a post-elections update following yesterday's dramatic exit polls that were not good for Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, so far things are almost the same. After 90% of the votes, it seems like both the party of Benjamin Netanyahu and of his rival Benny Gantz received the exact same number of seats, 32 seats. Last elections, few months ago, both of them received 35 each. So the big parties weaken their strength. They are no longer as big as they used to be, and smaller parties have gotten a bit bigger this time. But what we can clearly see from the results so far is that the right wing in Israel is 56, the left wing and the Arab parties are 55, and Avigdor Lieberman has 9 seats, and of course he is the person who will be required to form a government by both sides. One thing is for sure, Netanyahu has bigger chances to get Lieberman with him than Benny Gantz, simply because Gantz requires the Arab parties, who are by far, there's a wide consensus in the Israeli society that they are non-Zionist and they're not exactly on our side as a Jewish state. They are actually more collaborating with the Palestinian cause. So it's going to be very hard for the rival party to form a coalition unless, and now comes the point, unless there is some sort of a last-minute agreement for both big parties to join hands and to have a what we call national unity government. And if that's what we're going to have, then we will have to decide, are we leaving the ultra-Orthodox out? Are we leaving Lieberman out? Who is staying out? Because both of them right now with 32 each will be able to form together a 64 seats government that will be able to last. Now, the biggest problem of these elections is that the rival party has absolutely no platform besides everything but Netanyahu. And so the question now is, who is going to lead that government and who is going to be that prime minister of this national unity government? Benjamin Netanyahu is definitely not going to give up his status as prime minister. He's definitely leading the largest blockade, the right wing, with 56. The left wing, without the Arab parties, they're actually 43. And if you add Lieberman to it, still, without the Arabs, they will never be able to pass the right wing. So there's definitely, amongst the Zionist, Jewish Israelis, a majority that supports Benjamin Netanyahu as the Prime Minister of Israel. The question is now, what will the President of Israel decide, and who will he give the mandate to form a government to? Just so you know, it's not an imaginary scenario that a third round of elections will be forced on the Israelis. We've never had it before, by the way. We've never been so divided. Unfortunately, though, when Netanyahu comes with a great platform of continuing making Israel great, the other party is not exactly with a sustained and reliable platform besides, we will just do things better. And as long as Netanyahu is out, everything will be great. Well, that's what we have right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, 56 seats for the right, 43 seats for the left, 12 for the Arab parties, and 9 for Avigdor Lieberman. We are in a deadlock right now, and unless someone is going to decide such as Lieberman, to decide to gather with Netanyahu, or Gantz will decide to join Benjamin Netanyahu and not to insist on being the prime minister, then we have a government. I find both scenarios hard to believe as possible, because if Lieberman would join Netanyahu, he could have done that 4 months ago, and this whole second round would have been, of course, saved from us. But unfortunately, there is a lot of personal rival between between Netanyahu and Lieberman, and it doesn't look like Lieberman this time is going to join hands with Netanyahu. We're no longer surprised. We were surprised months ago when he didn't jump on the wagon and started the government. But we are no longer surprised when we see the way Lieberman conducted himself in the last few months. It is evident that he literally flipped to the other side, and he is taking the votes of all of his people. That's 9 seats. And he's taking them to actually join hands with a leader that they don't even know and they don't even vote for and support. So it's a little bit tricky, but one thing is for sure: we are watching a drama that is not yet coming to an end. The next few days will definitely determine everything here. There is, as far as the large parties, Gantz's party is 30,000 votes higher than the Likud of Netanyahu. And even there, although they have the same number of seats, because there's a certain number of votes for a seat. So right now they are equal with 32. But if we will, all it takes is the votes of the soldiers and the votes of some of the diplomats and people that voted earlier and that haven't been counted yet. All it takes is for that to flip, and then Netanyahu's party will be the largest, the right wing will be the largest, and of course that will make the life of the president of Israel much easier when he needs to decide who he's going to give the mandate to form the government to. So I unfortunately don't have, look, throughout the night, things got worse for Netanyahu, and towards the morning, things got better. As more and more votes were counted, it seems like there was a comeback. Netanyahu was actually behind 2 seats. There was 33 and 31, and now it is 32 and 32, which is good, because when these 2 parties have the same number of seats and the right blockade is actually bigger, the right wing is bigger than the left, that might be easier for the president to put on Netanyahu the task of forming a government. However, even if the president of Israel is giving Netanyahu the task to form a government, Netanyahu does not have 61 people to recommend him as prime minister at this moment. So at the moment, we need a miracle for some people to defect and move to Netanyahu's camp, or for Gantz to decide that he's willing not to be prime minister, or for Lieberman to get back to his senses, get back to his home base, and join hands with Netanyahu. I guess that's the most likely scenario. If he will get everything he wants, it might work this time, and we won't have to go to another round of elections in Israel. So again, we are watching the drama continues. One more thing, folks. Let's move to the Saudi-Iranian conflict right now. The Saudis are planning a press conference today, and in that press conference, they are planning on unveiling proofs that Iran is behind the attack on the Saudi refineries 4 days ago. Now, let me make it very clear. Some of the rockets did not explode, did not hit the target, and it was easy to recover them and look at everything inside, all the commands, all the computer commands, and all of the electric circuits inside, and to come to the conclusion that they were indeed fired by the Revolutionary Guard from Iranian soil, trying to deceive the whole world that it's actually fired from Iraq, or as they said in the beginning, it's actually a Yemenite strike. So we're watching two different dramas unfolding in the same exact time. In Israel, everybody is waiting to see who the next prime minister is going to be. It is still unclear. And in the Saudi area with Iran, tonight we are expecting a press conference that will unveil the proofs that Iran not only is behind the attack, but it is actually an attack from Iranian soil. And by all international laws, Saudi Arabia has the right to start a war, to strike back, and to not be held as someone who unilaterally started something. By responding to that strike, Saudi Arabia will have all the justification in the world, and no country on planet Earth, including the UN, will be able to condemn them for that. The problem is that all those that are deep in bed with Iran and the Iran agreement are already saying, hey, let's find a diplomatic solution. Saudi Arabia was attacked by cruise missiles. Half of their oil production was paralyzed. And Germany says, let's find diplomatic solution. Russia says, let's find diplomatic solution. Turkey says, let's find diplomatic solution. It's interesting how those countries are protecting Iran's interests rather than justice and the truth. And that is why we can never trust them. Never, ever, ever, ever trust them when it comes to the Iranian nuclear schemes. Iran, under the nose of the International Atomic Energy Agency, under the nose of all the superpowers, was operating secret sites for the production of uranium. Iran never ceased for a second to produce uranium, weapon-graded uranium, and we've proved that. Traces of uranium were found in places where we said, hey, they are doing those things, where they say it's a carpet cleaning factory, which is baloney. You don't need uranium to clean carpets. So my point is, folks, Iran is deceiving the world. Israel is blowing the whistles. Now Saudi Arabia is going to blow the whistle. America cannot stay indifferent, although I believe America will not strike itself. It might allow Saudi Arabia to do something limited, or some sort of, maybe cause more financial stress on the Iranians somehow. I'm not even sure if there are any more sanctions possible. But one thing is for sure, it is the same Iranians, the same intention, the same mullahs, the same ayatollahs, and the same intentions. And why are we surprised? We know that they are not going to change. They're not going to turn into angels. And we know that eventually they will physically come against Israel as well. So we're watching interesting things happening in Saudi Arabia, between them and Iran. But at the same time, the political deadlock in Israel continues. We do not have decisive results that will determine who the prime minister is and when will the government be formed. We're going to wait for many, many days. First of all, the first thing we need to wait for is who will the president of Israel give the mandate to form a government, because that person has to sit and start negotiate with all the parties. If Netanyahu will be given the mandate, then it will probably be easier because he has more people that are going to recommend him as the prime minister. The president of Israel is now expected to receive leaders of all the different parties and ask them who do they recommend as prime minister. After he hears all of them, then officially he will give the mandate to the right person to form a government. That person has few weeks to negotiate and bring a government to the approval of the Israeli parliament. That's where Netanyahu failed last time. He was recommended by enough people. He did receive the mandate and sit and start negotiate, but then he realized Victor Lieberman is not going to be part of my government. Thus, I do not have the majority. So, are we going to see the same thing again? I hope not, but I rather see that over Benny Gantz becoming the person to form a government. I really, really hope that Israel is not going to commit a suicide by voting for or by having a prime minister that is completely leaning on the votes of those who are not in agreement with Israel as a country, as a state, and as a home for the Jewish people. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen. This was a post-elections update. I'm here in Amsterdam. I'm leaving tomorrow all the way to the U.S. I just wanted you to understand, folks, there is no decisive result in Israel. We will wait for probably days to know who the candidate to even try to form a government is going to be, and then weeks to see if that person will eventually even be able to form a government. Until then, Prime Minister Netanyahu will continue as an interim prime minister in an interim government until we see what is going on. Yes, these are not the results that I had hoped for, but actually this morning is better than last night. If last night the other party had more seats and the left was actually bigger than the right, we woke up this morning to a tie of 32 on both parties and to the right wing having a majority. So things look better this morning, but still not good enough to already know who the prime minister is going to be and have a government formed by him. Thank you for watching this post-elections update. Keep watching what I'm about to share, because there are dramatic developments in Saudi Arabia and Iran, and it might involve America and Russia, and we might see a regional war over there. But at the same time, in Israel, the acting prime minister right now is still Benjamin Netanyahu. His fight against Iran, against Iranian entrenchment, against the terrorists in Gaza is still on, and I sure hope Israel is not going for a third round of elections. Thank you. God bless you. Shalom from Amsterdam. And I hope to give you better news and a clearer picture on my next update. Thank you. God bless you. And shalom from Amsterdam.